The Fat Man Morning Edition of the Sports Talk with Fat Man Mike Nasty. We're Fat Man It Live. For my guys out there, bells and coffee. Just coffee. And it's actually black coffee. And you guys working, getting your ping on, get the ping on. Everybody out there. Anybody out there. But that's what we're doing today. We're doing the Mike Nasty. We're doing the morning edition. I got my coffee. I got my Mike Nasty coffee on. I got my coffee on with Mike Nasty. Got the coffee edition. This is early morning. 9:20. It's early in the morning. It's Mike Nasty stuff. Early morning. Mike Nasty. Everybody's out doing their stuff. We got the morning show with Mike Nasty on a Saturday. It's called the morning show with Mike Nasty. Morning show with Mike Nasty. We're live. We're livening it up with the Mike Nasty show. Fat Man Mike Nasty. It's kind of early. It's early here in the Nasty show. We got 2 minutes, 56 seconds on the clock. And this is the Fat Man Mike Nasty. So what we're going to be talking about is the new era of the Ravens. You know, even with Harbaugh returning, we're going to go in a new direction. You know, Ozzie just stepped down. Martin Morningway, he was demoted from his role as offensive coordinator. So after Dean Pease retired as their defensive coordinator, so they had changes in, Harbaugh signed a 4-year contract. So his first commitment is it's a new era. Says it's a new era of football, so we're going to go with Lamar. Every year you have to change something, so they're going to build something new. That's what he's saying. So different philosophy, different everything. With Joe, they went 4-5, and then he got his hip injury, and then that's when they changed. 2 months later, they won 6 out of 7, and then they win the NFC North, and then they go to the playoffs. Then he ends up hiring Roman as the offensive coordinator. They make some changes. So now they're going in a different direction, with potential free agents want to play with the quarterback like Lamar, his out of pockets. So they're saying that they're probably going to keep Griffin to work with Lamar Jackson and some of the stuff. So we'll probably see Griffin is the backup. Coming around, they'll probably keep him. He's not a lot of money. And he did a good job, and he's a good team. Good locker room guy, they say. So they're going to work on what they see. They're going to work on everything with this ball handling and all that stuff, and comprised of a new change. You got 11 years with Joe, drop back, pocket. Mobility wasn't always there. You got Lamar that can razzle and dazzle now. And so now they got to put up a screen. And they got to keep him in the pocket. I mean, everybody knows what's going to go on and what they're going to do. So they got to, come up with some different schemes there with how he's going to play. Can't always just be a running guy. You got to be able, when they put 7 in the box, like I said before, they got to be able to pass the ball. He's got to be able to get the ball out and hit the receivers. So Brady stands alone. He's chasing his 6th Super Bowl. He'd be the only guy with 6 Super Bowl rings. 4 rings later, Brady will arrive in Atlanta for the Patriots as the most decorated Super Bowl quarterback in league history. That's what they have written down. And he's 41 years old. He's still, amazing to see him out there. I guess it's his Tom Brady 12. He has a little workout thing that you can get. He has a whole video, a whole shoot that he's on. Tom Brady. I think it's called T12 or something like that. And they say all his stuff is because the way he prepares, his film study, his out there going, through his practices. He's still saying, because they were the underdog, that they're no good. Like I always say, you can't count them out. And now look what they're doing. Their defense is in line. Now they're chasing their championship, chasing another championship. And let's see if he takes it to the wire. They're one of the guys, go greatest of all time. And he says it trickles down from into the others on that team. So, like I said, Brady's chasing his 6th ring. He'll be the most decorated guy, most decorated quarterback in NFL history with 6 rings if they get it. I think they should, but you don't know what McVay. They were just talking about McVay and his coaching career. He came from Mike Shanahan. Mike Shanahan hired him as a quality control guy back in 2010. And then he went on to, go with the Washington, a couple other teams. And then that tree line of what McShay had as coaches. His son Kyle gets a job at San Francisco. Then McVay gets a job. So that coaching tree from Shanahan goes from McVay. His son gets a job. And then you had LaFleur that was a coach with these guys. And he's at Green Bay. And then you're going to have another guy from McVay's system that's going to probably get the job somewhere else. Jones is probably going to get a job. So they have they rated quarterbacks for the best quarterback in the league was this year Patrick Mahomes. The worst quarterback was Josh Johnson. He had a Josh Rosen. He had a QBR of 25.9. He had the worst pass blocking line in the NFL. They couldn't hold a block for him. He was throwing under pressure. He never had a clean pocket. When he was throwing to his receivers, he had the tightest pocket to throw to. He had to throw the guys. He had the highest rate of, guys were blanketed. They couldn't get open. His receivers couldn't get open. So he had a high rate of receivers not being around for the ball because he had a terrible search. So in soccer, they stopped searching for Emilio Salas. His family's a little upset they couldn't find the plane that went down. They covered 1,700 miles of the channels and the islands. They couldn't locate. They couldn't locate the plane or the aircraft. The plane was flying from the French city of Nantes and Cardiff, where the 28-year-old Salas was due to start playing for the Welsh Capital Premier League club. So his plane went down. They haven't found it, and now they're calling the search off, and the family's upset. I don't like two-seaters and little planes and stuff. I really don't like any plane, but it's a lot faster, and plane travel is a lot safer, they say, than going around just on the highway. You get more wrecks on the highway than you do flying through the air, and all the stuff that they got to go through. A lot more, you know, fragile stuff. I just don't like being up that high. I don't mind flying. Terps find themselves in New York state of mind, so they're getting ready to go play Illinois. They're number 13. They're playing Illinois at Madison Square Garden. They'll be tipping off at noon today. And like I said, I always wanted to go to the Garden. That's a good place. So Maryland has to come back after their collapse against Michigan State. So we have to get back into make sure that their guys, Cowan and Fernando, it's going to be something new. They're going to go out there with the, jitterbugs, because it's New York. It's Madison Square Garden. This is my coffee break. So the young Terps are number 13. See if they can move up. Can't afford a loss. They'll slide down. So, and they haven't been there for a long time to the Sweet 16. So they have to get themselves back into it. Messina heads off cap controversy because he stays. He's going to go in like what's his name, Maddox. He played for the Cubs and the Braves, split his time, so he went in without a logo on his thing, and that's the same thing Messina says he's going to do. But he'll be the 7th Oriole to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. And you got a couple guys that are going in now, Harold Baines and Lee Smith that played for the Orioles, but they're going in as Cub, as White Sox and the Cub. So they're going to put logos on their hats. Messina made his debut in '91. He had 10 seasons with the Orioles. He was 147 and 81 with a 3.5, 5 All-Star appearance, 4 Gold Gloves, and then he signed as a free agent with the Yankees. He did about the same, 123 and 72, 3.88 in the 8 seasons. He appeared in Game 7 in the 2003 championship to help them come and beat the Red Sox in the final start of his career in 2008 when he reached his 20-win mark for the first time. So 2008, he did reach a 20-game winner. I didn't think he did. But he did have a 20-game win, but they're impressive. That's an impressive record. So he decided he wasn't going to put anything on his hat. He was just going to go with no logo because he split the years, 10 and 10. He had good years for both of them. But that's it. In local news, last night they have in high school, South Carroll High School has something called the Gold Rush, where they induct all their former high school guys that are going into South Carroll Hall of Fame, and all the kids that give out gold shirts, and the place is packed every time they do it, wall to wall people. It's a good atmosphere anytime when it comes to that. So all the teams play, all the basketball teams play up there. The JV girls, JV boys, varsity, and it's one after another, and it's a big thing. And then at halftime, they pull down the banner and they introduce the inductees, which is very nice. Very, very good for the community. It's a good thing they've been doing for years. We've done it. We've done it twice. We did it my daughter's freshman year, and then now this year, second time we done it. And my nephew's one of the guys that he teaches at South Carolina. He always has to pull the banner down. This year he didn't. He got to bang on drums or do something crazy. But this year we went out, and last year they beat us, but this year we came to their house and beat them by 20. So it was a good night, and then the boys win, and they stay undefeated. So we're now 3-3 in the county. The boys are undefeated. But that's local high school, and that's basketball talk. And that's Jen Wilson. She's up on Facebook. Hey, Jen Wilson, how you doing, buddy? Long time no see. What are you up to? What are you doing up at 9:30 on a Saturday? You're hanging with the fat man, Mike Nasty, talking sports, rolling it on out of here. So they say that the Ravens are going to get together with C.J. Mosley, but they said that there's going to be some limitations on the money. So I don't know if he'll go on to stay because he's going to get some matches. He's going to get some stuff. We'll see what it says, but they said he's going to resign, but there's a limitation with money. It also says Lamar Jackson's gearing up to get some help as outside with some quarterbacking issues. So they're going to bring a quarterback guy in here that specifies in certain areas. They're not saying it could be passing, it could be other things, but most likely it's going to be passing, and I hope handling the football better, not fumbling. So their top prospects for the Orioles are invited to spring training non-roster buddies, Yonsei Diaz and Ryan Monkowski, the Orioles spring training roster. So they're bringing that up. We got another week or two before that comes in, and everybody will be ready for some spring training. I hear it's nice when you go out there. If you go to Sarasota or any of the places in Florida and you go to spring training, it's relaxed, and it's a good time. Bring your kids down there if you want to. They sit out there and they sign. John Harbaugh expects Marshall Yonder and Eric Weddle back, no all-season injury orders. That barring unexpected development, we expect to guard Marshall Yonder and safety Eric Weddle to return to the team next season. Both Pro Bowl players are under contract, but Yonder 34 has not publicly committed. So they're still in the contract. It says he could be back. It says that the Padres are now chasing Manny Machado. Yeah, an Oriole guy, one of the young kids, Trey Whitley got suspended for drug violations with one of the Orioles minor league guys. There were more games during the NBA 2 seasons as small forward Jack Newman never took off his warm-up gear. I want to read something. So they said that Jake Lehman's finally going to get his opportunity after sitting on the bench for 2 years for the Portland Trail Blazers. So now he gets to take his warm-up gear off, and he's going to get an opportunity to play. That guy was always a hustler. Everybody, Vince DeVico's in the house. Real estate guy. Kurt Menke, my Baileys and coffee. It's coffee hour here at the Mike Nasty Morning Show. I'm doing the Mike Nasty Morning Show, and I got myself black coffee, not Baileys and coffee. You like my hat? I need to be in Florida. I should go to spring training. But I'm getting ready, getting on the move sooner or later. We got stuff to do today. So they got John Harbaugh new contract until 2020. And like I said earlier, he says he's going to change. It's the new era. New quarterback, new coaches, new style coming around the corner. You're getting ready to see some, run and gun style offense, I guess. And I just said, Lamar Jackson, they said he's going to get some outside quarterback help. I guess you know, I don't think you can change the throwing style, but you can get him a little bit more accurate. accurate. He might be a bum, but he's going to be a good bum. And, for what we got, if they change the style, we'll get it. We'll get it. So, like I said, the Ravens coaches are getting ready to change things up. New offensive coordinator, new quarterback. Went to Dink Martindale is going to change the defense a little more. They're going to, and they were still ranked in the Titans area. So 11 years of a drop back quarterback. Now you're going to get the run and gun, run and shoot, whatever they're calling it, RPO in it, run and pass, or run. We'll see. We'll see if they even draft another running back to complement these two guys. I know they had Buck Allen still in there. He didn't do a lot towards the end. You had, Dixon come on strong and dust the bus. But, after 1 year, or the second year, we can't stay consistent. But this run game will be a little bit different. And this Kyle Murray guy, everybody's talking about him. He's the talk of the town. He's a dual athlete. His off swings like a baseball swing. He was out there playing in some kind of golfing thing, and they said his swing's like a baseball swing, and he's a little small to be quarterback, but they say he still has all the potential. He's like a Russell Wilson type guy. He has, and he set every record in Oklahoma and done all that stuff. They said he's going to be drafted in the second or third. Then you have things saying that he's going to be a first-round draft pick. They say he's going to go to the Redskins. They have him doing, he'll be the first guy to be picked in the first round of anything. He'll be a first-round pick in both baseball and football because he's already, gave him an offer, a tenure sheet, and told him this. If I was a guy, I'd pick baseball because you get more stuff guaranteed to you. Once that contract's on, you can't lose it. In football, they can, you don't fulfill something. I don't know. I think that baseball just gives you a better opportunity. But you go for what you want to do. It's the love of the game. He could do both if he wanted to. Like I said, you had all those Bo Jacksons. You had Deion Sanders. So you had a lot of guys that did it. But so the Cubs, they signed our guy Brad Brock as a reliever from the Orioles. So they're going to add him to their bullpen because they lost the guy. Brad Brock did a good job for us, coming out of the bullpen. He was a closer. He was a middle relief man. So that's where they're starting to fill some spots. They're getting, like I said, the Orioles are just filling up with Rule 5 guys, trying to get guys off of waivers, and bringing in the young kids. They're letting their young guys, Diaz and I said, and the other guy that just came in, they're going to put them all up there and let them compete and see who has what. You got guys out there, Trey Mancini, got some guys that they got off from the Yankees last year, Peterson, Patterson. The infield's hurting. They need to get better depth in the infield, especially the middle, second and short, now that they don't have, Scoop and Manny and all those guys they need to bring in. They got to get some guys to fill it up there. Right today they got Fan Fest. You know, 12 o'clock today you can go down and meet the guys. They're gonna have veterans out there. They're gonna have Mark Trumbull, Chris Davis. They're gonna be out there for the veterans to speak on what they say. What? There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. It just says it's supposed to be cool. I went dead. Oh, I took it away. She wanted the picture. I cut it up already. But that's what we do, man. Are you still on there? I only got James going. Well, because I got to go to a basketball game in a second. So, see you. Mike Nasty. Live. Mike Nasty.